again. This is Logan M. Sharp, and currently, what you are watching now is an experimental short film that I made for a experimental slash animation film class at Penn State University. Uh, it's not meant to be anything like truly special, but uh, it is essentially, in a way, nature in spring. I went to uh, two parks during the month of April. The first one, most of what you'll see is Greenwood State Park, and the other one is Whipple Dams. You'll be seeing that much later. This is basically just a simple montage of the shots I took of nature in spring, while also simultaneously uh, showing off some special effects, as you've probably seen already. Uh, I would say I've had the Professor Marty, who teaches it, I've had him twice. Uh, at the time of recording this, I'm in I guess what you would call the advanced class, which is basically, I mean, there's nothing really that much advanced about it. You're just making like more experimental short films. But yeah, honestly, he's probably like my favorite professor over at Penn State. He's just such a sweetheart. He's just so chill and loose with the curriculum, uh, which is super helpful when you're busy with other classes at Penn State and you've got like one or two other professors and they think they're the center of the world. They think that you're going to school for their class and you're going to have their future, and that's just, I don't know, they're very egotistical of them. So in a way, being loose with it is kind of good, but I mean, on the other hand, we actually missed, I would say, a about a month's worth of class total throughout the semester, because the professor, I don't know, I feel kind of bad for him. I don't know if he had just some kind of like immunity problem, but he just kept getting sick and kept getting sick. I think he got caught COVID like twice within the span of like 3 weeks. Because I know even the first week of the semester we were supposed to go in for class and we couldn't go in for class because he was sick and he had COVID. So unfortunately, we missed out on the first week, and then finally, the second week of the semester, we got to have the class, and then literally the week after that, he got sick again. So, but thankfully, periodically we would have it. But he was just, it's so nice, such a nice professor. I would, if there was the option that I could have him for every uh, film production course, I would totally have that option. Uh, so I don't think we're at Whipple yet. I think this is still Greenwood, because looks, yeah, this is a Greenwood trail, so we haven't moved there yet. I know that the Greenwood stuff was some of the first stuff I shot. I shot that one Sunday before I went back to school. I think it was, I want to say, Easter weekend. And then I think about a week or two later, I got the Whipple stuff. I think it was, I think after I saw the Mario movie actually in theaters, so it was decent enough. I mean, I don't know if I'd put it on like top five best films of the year, but I would say it was rather enjoyable and probably a good experience, especially for those who love the games and grew up with the games. I grew up with some of them, so that was kind of nice. Uh, there's some more trail footage. I think the way I have some of it edited is there'll be trail footage and then it'll intercut with something else, and then there'll be another shot of trail footage and then it'll cut to something else, sort of like a pattern. This happens sometimes, but it's not exactly the overarching pattern. Uh, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Greenwood State Park. I mean, unless you're in central Pennsylvania, you probably don't know about it or haven't stopped there all that much. But yeah. So, one of the things when I was editing the project was the fact, well, since love to tinker with the coloring, color correction, and special effects a whole lot, like, what's the overall look I want to give the film? Because I tend to like to have my images maybe a little too saturated, maybe sometimes a little too vibrant, a little too warm, even if it doesn't fit the overall mood. So overall, I had to think, did I want it more warm? Because if I made it a little more warm, the image would actually came off more as orange. It looked more like fall than it did spring. But eventually, I altered it to the point it's like I think for it to look more like springtime, then I would need the you know alter the color correction to basically make the greens pop, make it look more like spring. Uh, but I mean, not all the flowers were out and blooming, and and at the time of filming this, it's not like the sky was the bluest of blue, and not exactly the most vibrant spring day. I think it was actually mostly cloudy when I filmed this stuff, so but I mean, the project was like due in a month at that point. So at that point, it's like, well, do need to grab something. So I think we're nearing the end of the Greenwood footage soon. And there's the old Greenwood furnace. It's a pretty nice shot. All right. And this is Whipple Dam. So we're there now, and I knew there were a lot more trail shots, but there were also more people, so I did actually have to cut away more. And unfortunately, as you can tell, I don't know if there's sort of some sort of like jaggy movement to the way the camera moves around during the trail footage. I didn't exactly have the best stabilizer with me when I was putting the footage together, so when I had to use the stabilizer both in Premiere and Final Cut Pro, uh, this was essentially the best I could come up with. That way, it would turn out to be less shaky, but it was definitely more shaky before I went and attempted to fix that little mistake. And there's that robin again. I think it's gonna. Is this the one where it takes off? Yep, there it goes. Yeah, and that's the film. I know it's nothing terribly special, but I mean, other than that, I mean, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like experimental film, and have a good day.